This video will show you how to install Boost Auto Parts wireless phone charger into your 2009 to 2014 F-150 with center floor console shifter. To get all the parts shown in this video, as well as other parts and accessories for your truck or SUV, check out our website at boostautoparts.com. With the seat slid all the way forward, use an 8mm socket to remove the rear console bolts on both the driver and passenger side. Carefully remove the kick panel on the driver's side. Remove the 8mm front console bolt. With the passenger seat slid all the way back, remove the passenger side trim panel. Remove the 8mm passenger side front console bolt. Remove this front trim panel. Depress the parking brake. Turn the key to the run position. Place the vehicle in neutral. Using a trim tool, carefully remove the center console area. Depress this latch, then pull the connector straight out. Remove the center console insert. Place the vehicle in park, then turn the key back off. Remove the two 8mm bolts holding on the console that were under the front console insert. Your kit would have come with two parts, a wiring harness as well as the charger itself. We will begin with installing the wiring harness into the vehicle. Carefully lift the console slightly and slide it back. Be sure not to pull it too far as the shift linkage is still connected. We will begin running this large black connector and the corresponding gray connector. Run it straight down, then on the driver's side pull the slack straight on through. You will want to leave approximately 6 inches up near where the charger will be. When routing the wiring harness, make sure it goes underneath the bar right over here. Drape the harness towards the rear of the vehicle to help guide it. Then tuck it underneath the lip of the console all the way from the front to the back. Keep tucking towards the rear. It may be easier if you slightly lift the console. Open the center console lid and remove the 3 Torx screws retaining the center console lid onto the center console. Remove the center console lid. Using a trim tool, carefully pop up on the rear cup holder assembly. This trim piece will not be fully removed, it's just lifted enough to access the 2 bolts underneath. Remove the 2 7mm bolts. Using a trim tool, remove the rear plastic bezel. On the rear 12-volt outlet, depress this latch right here and unplug the connector. Plug the vehicle's original 12-volt connector into the black connector on the Boost Auto Parts harness. Plug the gray connector from the Boost Auto Parts harness back into the 12-volt outlet. By plugging this in, this will keep the rear 12-volt outlet completely active. Tuck the harness out of the way. Make sure the wiring harness is guided off to the side in this lip right here. Bring the rear trim plate back into position. You need to lift the top lip here. Once that's done, re-engage the trim clips. Reinstall the 2 7mm bolts. Re-engage the top console trim piece. Bring the center console lid into position. Reinstall the 3 Torx screws. Carefully slide the center console back into position, making sure not to pinch the wires. Reinstall the 2 8mm front console bolts. Reinstall the front driver's side 8mm console bolt. Reinstall the passenger side front 8mm console bolt. Reinstall the rear 8mm passenger side console bolt. Reinstall the rear 8mm driver's side console bolt. Bring the front console insert over to a bench, then flip it over as we will be working with the back side. We will be removing this front insert. There are 4 Phillips head screws retaining it. Use a Phillips head screwdriver and remove the 4 screws. Remove the front console insert. Take the wireless charger by Boost Auto Parts and bring it into position. The side with the green circuit board needs to line up with the cup holder side. Drop it into position. There are some guides that it rests into. It's important to note there is purposefully a little bit of play. You need to center it to ensure there are no gaps. If you assemble it and there are some slight gaps on the sides, slightly loosen the screws and realign it to eliminate the gaps. Reinstall the 4 factory Phillips head screws, retaining the Boost Auto Parts charger into the middle console assembly. Take the Boost Auto Parts harness and plug it into the Boost Auto Parts charger. Plug back in this connector if equipped. Make sure the parking brake is still depressed, then turn the key to the run position and place the vehicle in neutral. When bringing the console insert into position, place any extra slack from the Boost Auto Parts harness down to prevent pinches. When you finally bring this into position, make sure it's in front of the shift lever. Bring the console insert into position and snap it in. Place the Boost Auto Parts rubber mat into position, making sure the holes for the lights line up. Place the vehicle back into park, turn the ignition off, and release the parking brake. Replace this front trim piece by snapping it in. Reinstall this trim plate on the side. Note there is a latch, so it needs to latch towards the front. Snap back in the driver's side front trim plate. And just like that, your installation is complete. The charger is equipped with 2 modes. The default mode 1 will have a red resting light, and then anytime something is charging, it will change to a blue light. You can cycle between the modes by pressing the sub-flush button once. Mode 2 will have no resting light if nothing is charging, but anytime something is charging, a blue light will come on indicating something is charging. If you ever wish to fully turn off the charger, you can press and hold the sub-flush button for 3 seconds and the charger will totally turn off. Repeat the procedure to turn it back on. To get all the parts and accessories shown in this video, as well as other parts and accessories for your truck or SUV, check out our website at boostautoparts.com.